which is a 5.6 positive rate. We are happy.
Anything under 10's
yes.
good, and we're half of that.
Yes. So that's great to hear and to keep hearing. We also have a total of 736 people vaccinated. I believe that is our past 7 days. So last week alone, we went ahead and took care of that.
About 70 people, almost 80 people a day getting vaccinated still.
We're just really happy about that. I do want to make sure that we announce that the Livestock Pavilion has stopped hosting as a testing center. That
was 10 days ago, and 10, 11 days ago, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure our crew over there at the SELP is really busy, and I don't want them to be distracted, and I don't want people to be disappointed that they came for a test and they couldn't.
Is there a place people can still go get free testing if they want to?
Yes, sir. We have it's free drive-through testing at the First Baptist Church of Ocala. That's on 2801 Southeast Mary Camp Road. And as always, they maintain the covidtestfl.org as a website to keep up with where the testing locations are nearest you.
You can also reach out to the Department of Health, too. If you have any more questions about that, call them at 352-644-2590. Again, the Department of Health in Marion County, you can call them for any questions or any concerns you have about COVID-19, 352-644-2590.
That's right.
Okay, it's October.
Yes, sir.
The no-kill shelter, which is the animal control shelter here in town.
Right, the county shelter.
The county shelter. Mm-hmm. It became a no-kill shelter. You got to get a little closer to that mic.
Oh, so sorry.
I just got a phone call. They can't hear you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So it is adopt a pet this month for free. Come
Yes,
on
sir.
now. You mean free? Like I can walk in as long as I pass the
Background
screening and
checks.
everything, the
Right.
background checks and everything. I can take a dog or cat.
Fully
and it costs
vaccinated,
me fully fixed,
spayed,
neutered.
licensed, microchipped.
Cost me nothing.
Exactly. We're overfilled, and we maintain quite an overfull status. But especially with our dogs with National Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, we want to make sure that we use any and all promos we can to just make people aware that there are still pets in need of homes, and we're gonna open for free if we have to.
One of my favorite commercials right now on TV is there was a pet adoption thing and everything. It's for a pet adoption commercial. It's for a Geico commercial actually about pet adoption as part of it. And the guy goes, they were all out of dogs. So, and he's got an iguana on a leash.
Oh, we have had our share. We've had anything from bearded dragons, even a camel, to right now we have bunnies. If you want a
You
rabbit,
do?
chickens, geese.
I go out there
Yes.
about once or twice a month just to walk. Because I used to be on the board of the Humane Society.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a passion for adoptable. All my dogs are
Oh,
rescues.
good. Take two.
Well, I have 4. I have 4 dogs and a cat right now. My wife is. We're until a couple of them are elderly.
Right. Understood.
Until a couple of them are no longer with us, I think we're our total.
Well, and take your time to grieve after that.
Right.
We do.
Yeah, because a lot of people will rush out and get a dog to replace their dog, and then realize they didn't get a good fit and stuff because they rushed it.
Right, and actually we do have our staff received when we turned into no kill. Sorry for starting that sentence 7 times, but when we shifted to no kill, we trained our staff a little differently into providing a little bit of not necessarily counseling, but getting to know the people wanting to adopt and trying to match them with the personalities that we see in the dogs. Because
You see them more. The county,
Yeah.
the people that work at the shelter know more about the dogs and their personalities and the cats and their personalities
Right.
and the Komodo dragons and their personalities and the horses. People forget. You get livestock there. You get
Yes.
horses there. I remember when the camel was there. You know.
Yeah.
So but right now up for adoption, cats and dogs for free,
No
spayed, neutered, all the shots, registered,
And
microchipped.
That's right.
And microchip. Now, once they're microchipped, you have to register that you own the dog. I know how that works. But microchip's
quick
a big
call.
deal.
Yes.
Yeah, microchip's a huge deal.
We love those. Well, okay, we hate when people lose their pets, but we love the reunification stories that we get to do. We've had anywhere from New York to Tennessee to Canada. One where I think it was a cat jumped out the window on I-75. I mean, We've had anything and everything, but those microchips have just provided the best good news stories we've had.
When I moved to Gainesville 30 years ago from Georgia, my basset hound that I had at the time, she was chipped. I got her chip, and chips were very new then. This was 1995, 90, so I guess it wasn't quite 30 years ago, but right around that area. But she put her nose to the ground, walked off from our house in Gainesville.
Yep, those instincts.
The Humane Society here in Marion County she got turned into the Humane Society here in Marion County.
Oh, that's
They
awesome.
happened to have a wand.
Yeah.
And they were able to call me, and I came. She had made it to Ocala.
Yes.
35,
Wow.
38 miles.
They're amazing. Pets are amazing, and we love providing them with good homes, and we will make sure it's a good home. Like you said, there's background checks involved. You don't just walk in the door and walk out.
So it's Adopt a Pet for free month. So
Yes, sir.
look, if you want to adopt a pet, look, here's the thing, though. Do not give pets as a gift to your girlfriend you've been dating a month and a half, okay? Because when you and that girlfriend break up, which inevitably the laws of statistics say you will, the pet will suffer unless that person really, really is a good pet owner. So please take that into consideration. Pets are not great as gifts.
Right. They're a lifetime.
Yeah, people think, oh, I'll do something nice and I'll get my significant other a gift. I'll get them a pet. What if they don't want a pet? What if they can't have a pet?
Well, and
Pets are like children. They can't take care of themselves.
That's
You
right.
have to.
That's right. And the other thing we see is the cute little bunnies at Easter. Well, they grow up to
All
be
the
rabbits.
time. Oh, yeah, they grow up to be rabbits who have more rabbits.
Yes, and we do have a couple of rabbits here.
Yeah.
Whether or not they were Easter exchanges, we don't know, and that's fine. But they need happy homes as well.
One of the dogs, and I know this from being a board member of the Humane Society, one of the dogs that gets given as a gift to children that then get turned into animal shelters,
Right.
purebred dogs, is a Dalmatian. Because everybody thinks, oh, Disney made 101 Dalmatians. They're such cute puppies.
Or the firehouse dog.
Yeah, but they're terrible dogs as adults for children because they're hyperactive. They don't like people in their faces.
You've got to get them trained.
You
that's
gotta
for
get,
sure.
And so a Dalmatian's a terrible dog for a child, but they're cute puppies. So everybody thinks because it's a cute puppy,
They're adorable puppies.
they must
Yes.
be good. Everybody associates cute puppy must be good with children. That's not necessarily accurate. One of the worst puppies in the world for children when it grows up to be an adult is a Dalmatian. Contrary to belief, one of the best dogs for a child when they grow up to be an adult, if it's trained properly, is a pit bull. People don't realize that a pit bull was the mother-in-law dog. It was called the mother-in-law dog. People used to leave their children in the care of the pit bulls because they knew the dog wouldn't allow anything to happen to the baby.
I do remember those stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember Petey from the Little Rascals? He's a pit bull. But training
Yes.
is essential.
Yes. It's all in how you raise them.
Because you raise a pit bull in the wrong way, we know through all the news reports and all the situations that can arise
Well,
there
and
as
the same
well.
with children. I want to promote
Yeah.
good parenting as well.
Good parenting as well. Good parenting as well. Talk about tourism, because you think about tourism, Silver Springs is a state park now. It's not a big tourist attraction, you wouldn't think. And there's no wild waters, and there's no big amusement park here. So how is tourism at record levels?
Well, first of all, I want to say that it's record levels even through COVID.
Right,
So
even through COVID.
kudos to our tourism team. They have been working around the clock and adventuring into all kinds of new avenues to get our name out there. And quite frankly, people are coming here because we don't have the huge amusement parks.
Right, yes.
We have-
Ecotourism.
Yes, our parks are hopping and our pavilions are getting rented out. So if you want one for a birthday party, go ahead and give Parks and Recreation a call and they can schedule you.
And when you talk about pavilions, I'll give you a prime example of a park a lot of people may not know about,
Well, don't tell them.
but it's got great pavilions if
one?
you want for birthdays and stuff. Cahajo.
Yes.
Cahajo is a park nobody thinks about hardly anymore. It's got a basketball court, but it has amazing pavilions with grills and everything where you could throw a good family reunion there. You could throw
It's
birthday
awesome.
parties there.
We actually just opened the only, I believe it's still the only
Archery.
well, that too. We have the archery right next door.
Right next door.
But we have the pickleball courts.
The pickleball at Cahajo.
Yes,
Yeah.
public access pickleball courts. You can't say that everywhere.
No, Cahajo's the only park that has those, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe the only place in Marion County that's open to
And then you got
public.
the archery park right next to Cahajo.
Yes. And we've also created the natural. It's a natural playground. It's not metal, but it forms closer to the natural flora and fauna, so you almost can't see it if you're not looking for it.
Right.
But kids love it, and it's always full.
And we haven't even talked about the parks that have the springs.
That's right.
We hadn't even talked about all the parks that, like one of my favorite places, KP Hole.
Yes, you
I
and
love
many,
KP
many,
Hole.
many others.
Exactly. it gets that last summer.
Mm-hmm.
It got a couple days where they shut off people going into KP Hole
Within an
because
hour
it was
of
so
opening.
crowded.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes, we do. We limit it because it is a conservation effort. We do want to maintain the river for future generations. So we're going to cut off and not get that revenue if that's what it takes to make sure that KP Hole and the Rainbow River itself stays clean and pure.
It's amazing how many different things you can do tourism-wise
Oh, yeah.
in Marion County.
I think it's awesome.
It really is. It really is awesome. It's just not only is it rivers, but there's hiking and there's bike trails and there's walking trails and there's just so much to do.
And there's lots of playgrounds. And
Lots of playgrounds.
That is for our homeschooling, which I believe the numbers went up last year due to a couple of different mandates in and out of the school system. But our homeschooling programs that we have inside the community centers, we have in the library offers a lot of homeschooling programs. So, but the parks and the playgrounds are used continuously.
Let's talk about volunteers for a minute.
Sure.
Are volunteers needed at the county level?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They are. One of the ones that we need is for our animal services, our dogs and cats.
Dog walkers, cat
Yes.
people to.
And reminding you about the popularity of the pit bulls, we need strong dog walkers.
Strong dog walkers. Because
Yes.
they will walk you if you're not careful.
Yes, and we don't want that to happen for the safety of the dog and the person that has volunteered their time. We want to make sure that we match you up with a dog you can handle or a dog that you want to learn how to handle.
120-pound person probably isn't going to walk a 150-pound Great Dane.
No, but we do have all sorts and sizes, every name, breed, and color, it seems, except for the pocket pets. We seem not to have those very long. They go quickly.
Oh, yeah, if you can put them in your purse, they go
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, the cute and adorables. They don't stay long, but I'm so proud that every now and then we have a longest resident, and it's sad to see the shelters are supposed to be temporary.
Right.
So that we can heal them and get them back into a happy home. If they're stray, we can feed them, get them up to whatever level is healthy.
And then find their forever home.
Right. We don't want them to stay with us for a long time. We've had ones that are there for 2 to 3 years, and it'll bring them down, and they get in depression, and that's why we need the volunteers to interact with these dogs so that they're not just stuck in the kennel all day long. And
Commissioner Bryant talked about a couple months ago that a longtime resident from the shelter had been adopted.
Yes, we love to make a big deal about that because and part of our heart goes with that dog because we've spent so much time with them, or the cat, mostly dogs though. So we try to promote them on social media, on the Marion County Animal Services Facebook page. We have specials like even this month for free. Sometimes it's not always for free, but we will work with you. And even those pets that people try to surrender, we work with them. We try to find somewhere that dog can go or cat so that it doesn't come into the shelter because it's not a nice, comfy, calm place.
No, it's not.
So,
it's noisy.
Right. We work with rescues.
The animals, by the way, yes, we can soothe them to volunteer and all, but there's some anxiety going on there.
Yes.
Because it's concrete jungle.
Right.
It's the best we can do given the situation we got, but it still is a concrete jungle that causes anxiety for the pets.
It does, and even when they're lost and stray, they haven't eaten for a couple of days, so if they see another dog across the way eating, they're going to make sure to bark and growl and
I want some of that food. Exactly.
Right. We have received a Petco Love grant to install plastic barriers instead of the chain link fence
Thank
doors.
Goodness. Uh-huh.
So at least they can't see across the way. And it does, we've installed 2 of them already, and we've noticed drastic differences. Those dogs are calmer, and
they don't see a threat across the aisle.
Correct. They're not distracted, and
Right.
they're not threatened, like you said. Good job.
Speaking of distractions,
Oh, boy.
I get distracted by how much garbage I see on the roadways.
I think so. I think
And
everyone can say that.
it's become a hot button issue with the commissioners.
Well, it remains a hot button issue.
It's really a front burner issue.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Commissioner Stone, Commissioner Bryant, Commissioner Gold, Commissioner Zalek, and Commissioner Curry.
Right.
They all voted and they unanimous to create a litter task force. I am humbled that I was asked to be a participant
Yes, sir.
of the litter task force. We're in the stages of creating the process that we want to come up with to try to curb littering. And people go, you mean the people that throw their fast food bags out of the side of the windows? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm also talking about the people that think some old dirt road near their house, it's easier to go dump their garbage bags than it is to take it to one of the trash facilities
18.
that are all over the county, by the
Yes,
way.
we have 18 recycling centers.
You know, those people, that's a big part of it. People who think that the forest is where you're supposed to take your washer and dryers and your old TVs and
Yeah,
your
that's a hot
couches
button for me.
and throw it. Let me explain something to you. Woodsy Owl and Smokey Bear don't want your love seat. They're okay. They're okay.
They're comfortable.
Yeah,
They're fine.
they're good. You know, Woodsy Owl, give a hoot, don't pollute, right?
That's right.
That's the guy. So we're really geared up to make this a success
Correct.
for Marion County. But there's people don't realize how much is already in place, and we still have to create a litter task force.
Yes.
There are like community groups and volunteer organizations, like 80 of them, I think, that clean roadways all over
We have
the
80 miles. We have
80
80
miles.
miles, so we have about 40 groups. They
Okay.
get 2 miles apiece.
Okay.
And they clean up their 2-mile segment. I believe it's twice a year. We give them the gloves, the protection equipment, and the trash bags, and they get to put a sign up that said this road is adopted by and whatever their group name is. And we love the fact that we have those volunteers. However, there's a lot of roadways in Marion County that we haven't yet been able to adopt.
In 4,000 hours of volunteer work from county crews and clean up litter and city employees, inmates, volunteers, 150,000 pounds of garbage they picked up on our roadways.
And I believe that's annually.
Yeah, that is annually.
Yeah.
Now divide that by 2. That's 75 tons of garbage
That's crazy.
in Marion County. And that's just what they pick up.
That's already, that's clean.
Right.
Right.
That's what they pick up. That doesn't mean they get to every place in Marion County.
No.
That's just what they can get to.
And the thing is, our Adopt the Road program is for county roads, not all the state roads that come through.
Right.
Not parts of the interstate, and not the private roads, because the private roads aren't clean either.
Well, our task force is going to try to help this.
That's awesome. We're excited
And
to announce it.
Here's what people don't realize. There's 7 voting members. I'm one of the voting members. But then there's also the Ocala Marion Chamber of Commerce and Economic Partnership.
Right.
That's a member of this group. The Marion County Sheriff's Office, City of Ocala, City of Denellen, City of Bellevue, Florida Department of Transportation, Florida Forest Service, Fish and Wildlife, the Office of the State Attorney's Office, Waste Pro, Waste Management, Florida Express Environmental, Realty World, and Graffito Incorporated. They're all part of this task force too. They may not be voting members,
Right.
but it's a large enough task force where we have somebody that touches almost every aspect of life in Marion
It's
County.
hard to find somebody that's not represented. And that was our thing, is we wanted to make sure that we're going to communicate to every single type of audience. That's our goal. That's the only way we're going to change this behavior.
We got to get trash out. We got to change the thought that it's okay to take your trash. Now, I will take the county to task on this, and it is a little disconcerting.
Well, good. I brought a pen to take notes in case
There's new signs up, and you never notice signs unless they're new, and then you notice them. And there's a sign up that says 90 pounds. 2 containers up to 90 pounds. I think there's a number of trash bags you can bring or anything. Or you have to go to the dump. You have to go to the big center.
Right.
That's aggravating to me, because if I go 4 or 5 days without taking trash to my local trash place, I could have 110, 120. And I know why you did it. You did it so a neighbor wouldn't go around and collect all his neighbor's trash.
And then charge.
Charge, here, give me $10, give me $10. Because there are people who do this as a business.
Correct.
And you want to give them the opportunity to make money. I understand that. But where I live at 326 near Anthony, to go all the way out to the county dump,
Yes.
that's a long way.
Which is why we put the recycling centers there.
Right, but
Whether or not that policy can be increased, we do want to make sure that we maintain the recycling centers for our residents.
right,
Like you
household
said,
garbage.
Exactly.
We don't want you to bring your tires and everything there, household
it's a
garbage.
special
Right,
collection event.
exactly. But sometimes I have more than 90 pounds of household garbage because I'm lazy. I procrastinate. I have a shirt that says "Procrastinators Unite Tomorrow."
Oh, boy.
So I procrastinate, and so I may take 15, 18 bags of trash that have accumulated over 2 weeks because it's climate control where I'm at. We got garbage cans to handle it, and so that's a deterrent for me. But it just means I'm gonna have to not be lazy, is what it means. But
We're trying to promote healthy residents.
I know,
There you go. Get
I
your move
know.
on. Get some steps in.
I know. So, but the litter task force is something that's going to be a success.
Yes.
I
We
believe
have
that.
many people that will make that happen, and my very small team is working very hard to make sure we get all the messages communicated, and we get the messages communicated to the people that need it. We're not just speaking to the people that don't litter, so we have to revise it.
You got about a minute left.
Okay.
Let's talk about Halloween because there's going to be a lot of trick-or-treaters
Please,
out.
yes.
Give us some advice on how to be safe during this Halloween situation. Flashlights, people driving on the road, pay attention. It's very important we keep our children safe.
It is, and especially with COVID last year, a lot of people didn't go trick-or-treating. So,
Right.
So we
We
have
expect a mass to go this year.
Yeah, you better go. You better go buy some BOGOs or something. But we want to make sure that you use crosswalks if you have them. You use sidewalks if you have them. Flashlights are always great. It's good to maintain the safety of a pedestrian even when you're trick-or-treating. Keep
Yes.
that in mind. However, what I really want to make sure is the people driving around. Yes, you're making the kids walk around the neighborhood, driving them all, dropping them off. They need to pay attention as well. To make sure that everything is clear before they stop and go to the next house.
Certainly.
And the people in the car need to pay attention as well. But we do offer, as the county, with the community centers, I believe the library might be doing one this year, but trunk or treats, go to our tourism group, has a community calendar, ocalamarian.com. They list the trunk or treats available at the community centers.
And that's a
maybe
real
even a
safe.
park. Yeah.
That's a real safe
And
way to do it.
churches.
Stacey Causey, thanks so much for coming
sir.
by and filling us in on what's going on with the county. See you or somebody in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after this timeout on WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
An organized group of parents in Michigan and Virginia accuse Attorney General Merrick Garland in a federal lawsuit Tuesday